So guys, I've seen some anti-white videos on the internet, as you all know, but this has definitely got to be one of the most racist ones towards white people.
He's very worried that the West is dying and that the white race is dying a natural death because they are below zero population growth.
Gotcha! He's actually not complaining about the Farrakhan video, and in fact, double gotcha, because Farrakhan is just quoting Pat Buchanan. No, this is the video he's complaining about.
You know what group of people are stupid? Well, everybody. But you know what group of people is especially stupid? White supremacists. I'm tired of these motherfuckers.
And yes, it's the avidly known liberal atheist, the Amazing Atheist.
Liberal atheist? Sounds like a race traitor to me.
But I can't believe that in today's society you can get away with that. You know, you can get away with making such a racist, hateful video towards white people and get away with it.
I'm surprised by a lot of shit on YouTube, but not his video. More surprised by your video, but I'll get to that later.
I mean, it is just pathetic, okay?
The white race, man. Fucking the Jews. They're fucking giving our jobs to the blacks and the Mexicans. And we're the smartest race. The smartest race of them all.
Actually, he summed up your channel page pretty well.
Now, in these videos, he seems to take the piss out of white racists. You know, oh, white racists complain about this, white racists. But then he goes into a full-on attack on the white race.
No, he says that it's ludicrous and in fact stupid, that if you've accomplished nothing in your life, then you have to fall back on your race as a way to feel good about yourself. So for example, I don't want you, because you're a sorry little piece of shit, to take credit for all of the things that I have done in my life. Just like TJ, I want you to go out and live your life. Do something that you can be proud of that I don't have to claim just because I'm white. I don't want to be saddled with having to feel bad about how sad and pathetic your life is because you never went out and did anything. You spend all your time complaining about how great all the other races have it.
You know, he goes on to an attack on people who take pride in their race, pride in their heritage. That's an attack on race. It was saying how, because you say the white man created the television, does that mean that you created the television? Well, no, but, you know, you can respect your own race. What is wrong with that? Okay.
Well, television is a fairly good example because it was invented in America. So is this white people? If you're a British white nationalist, you get to claim anything that white people in America do because we declared that we were quits with you guys, right? I mean, we're friends now, but is that because of our dominant races? And that's got shit all to do with it. Look, if people ask me, what have your people, me, what have my people ever given to the world? I would talk about our work ethic. I would talk about our settling of the West. I would talk about things that people I'm descended from actually did. If someone were to ask me what have white people done, I might mention Marie Curie. And if someone said, well, what have men ever done, I might mention George Washington Carver. See, that's the difference here. There's nothing wrong with admiring your own heritage, but you aren't even identifying your heritage. You're misidentifying it by playing this game with skin color. We're all part of a larger human community, so we can all be proud of the things that women have done, the things that Indians have done, and so on and so forth. You don't have to be a man to take pride in what men have done, and you don't have to be white to take pride in what white people have done. But if you want to take pride in the television, then why not take pride in peanut butter? So that was also invented by an American.
Yeah. You know, it's just like respecting your family, but it's bigger. Okay? Now, I want you to do something. TJ and all these fanboys. Look at Europe. Hallelujah. Then look at Africa. Look at Europe. And then look at Africa. And then look at Europe. And then look at Africa. Okay. Now tell me, does race still mean nothing to you?
Yes, absolutely nothing.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question.
And I can't wait to hear it.
Take every single European out of Europe now and put them all in Africa.
I wonder, would that involve chaining them up and putting them in boats?
And put all the Africans in Africa now in Europe.
Now, I know that's going to involve chaining them up and putting them in boats.
Okay. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think Africa's still going to be a complete shithole wasteland?
Hey, numbnuts. This is a rainforest, and it's in Africa.
And you think Europe's going to still stay prosperous? No, over time, gradually, Europe will turn into a shithole, poverty-stricken land, and Africa will become prosperous. Okay? It's all about race. Do you want a future where we are landing on the moon?
Land on the moon in the future? We did that in the past. 1969, first moon landing.
Where we are finding the cure for cancer? Where we are doing other extraordinary things? Okay, as we should be? You know, progression? Or do you want us to go back to the Stone Age?
And which of those things are you going to do? You're going to cure cancer? You're going to be an astronaut? Are you some special and unique snowflake? This is what TJ said. Don't claim it. Fucking do it.
So, you know, TJ is one of these people who thinks it's sort of uncool to be a nationalist, patriot, you know, racially aware.
Actually, he'd call it retarded.
He believes that it's cool to be some sort of government zombie.
If he's a zombie, he can't think anything is cool. All he can do is feast on the brains of the living. You'll be pretty safe.
You know, he probably still believes that 9/11 was done by bin Laden and that all the Muslims in Afghanistan want to kill all the Americans. He's probably one of these people, you know.
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
He believes everything the government tell him, you know. So, you know, he's just I can't believe his video has got so many likes. That's what prompted me to make this video.
And you had firsties on the video response, but you'd shit a brick if you took a look at it now. It's almost 4,800 thumbs up. But there's also 45 video responses. He's got a popular channel. I don't understand how you don't understand how this works. Racism is unpopular. Got it?
Okay. The amount of brain dead people, and most of them will be white people, and the amount of brain dead people that still believe that white people are some evil race that go around killing everybody.
Who believes that? And where did he say that in his video? He doesn't talk about historical injustices. He doesn't talk about Nazis. He doesn't talk about slavery. He doesn't talk about the Inquisition. He talks about hanging out and not really doing anything. He talks about it being pathetic that people who just hang around and not do anything claim to have some greater destiny and some greater heritage. In fact, what he says is, if all you do is just hang out and just be a normal person, then that's totally fine. Just do that and be happy with that. That's what he says in his fucking video.
Okay, have you ever heard the story of Haiti? Have you ever heard the story of Rhodesia? Where we went to these places and made it better for everyone, including the natives?
Bullshit. Europeans did not go into colonies in order to make them better for the people who lived there.
And then after a couple of hundred of years, by the way, it was the French that went to Haiti, not the British, but, you know, still a white race.
Because the French and the British, they just love being lumped together.
You know, and after a while, the ungrateful natives there rose up, killed all the white people.
Now you're really talking out of your ass. I don't want to say that revolutions and civil wars in those areas aren't bloody, but killed all the white people.
White race, man.
Now look at Haiti today, shithole. Look at Zimbabwe today, shithole, dictatorship.
Not going to argue with you there. Things are pretty bad in those places.
Okay? That's what TJ wants, the amazing atheist, and that's what his fanboys want. They want a world full of poverty, hate, disease, and dictatorship.
No, what TJ wants is to make as much money as possible doing as little work as possible. That's what his friends want, and I would speculate that's primarily what his fans want. Now, what do you want? Because it seems to me that your worldview profits from there being poverty and lawlessness. You know, there are people out there who actually work against these things. They raise money, they raise awareness, they volunteer. They actually put time and effort into alleviating the problems of poverty. Now, let's go back to this point that I made earlier. What the fuck are you actually going to do with your life?
They don't want a world of progression, unity, and peace.
You don't want any of those things. You want us to be locked into archaic modes of thought. You want us separated from each other by race.
So yeah, go ahead. Support his anti-white views while you can.
There's nothing anti-white about his views. He is better classified as a misanthrope. Everyone sucks until they prove otherwise. So what are you going to do to prove otherwise?
Because let me just say this first. Even if he doesn't even realise he's being anti-white, and he's just going along, you know, with the agenda of being a liberal and being sort of 21st century, even though he wants to take us back to the Stone Age.
You can't be the champion of progress and be against living in the 21st century.
Okay? He will live in a neighborhood where it's probably, you know, full of white Americans. You'll have the odd, you know, blacks coming through, or the odd Mexicans working on a construction strike.
What the fuck are you talking about? Is this based on anything?
But what about if he lived in Queens or Detroit?
Well, I've lived in Queens and Brooklyn, so I guess I can answer your question. Go ahead.
What about if he's been attacked on a daily basis just for being white? I mean, a fat blob like him would be a walking target, you know, in somewhere like Detroit.
Doesn't happen. Millions of people live in these boroughs. There's white people. There's black people. I never got attacked once.
So yeah, maybe when his little quiet town or wherever he lives gets culturally enriched, maybe we'll just see how he views multiculturalism then.
Oh, we're speculating? I would say exactly the fucking same. I mean, if you really want to put some thought into it, he probably smokes pot. His dealer's probably Mexican.
So thank you guys. Hopefully the Amazing Atheist will have seen this video. I doubt so. He's probably just blocked us for even having one disagreement with him.
It looks to me like he has his video responses set to automatic approval. Now, the question is, are you going to accept this as a video response?
Even though I have tons. But whatever. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.